Hey everyone, we're starting a project today for a little extra storage on my 3rd gen 4runner here. It's going to require some welding, fabricating, and should be pretty straightforward. So I've already built myself a swing out for my spare tire. It's 33, it fits underneath. It hangs a little too low for the off-roading that we do. I'm afraid of always puncturing it, so I built a swing out. So the plan is to cut the swing out and install storage in the floor. I'll show you down below. We're going to put it right in here. That's going to get cut out. It's going to live right in here. And my plan for the storage isn't necessarily something I'm going to use all the time. It's more for my tools. I'm going to mount an air compressor in here and stuff that I don't access all the time. I normally have a bed set up right here. The fridge is generally right in this area here. It's kind of a rough idea of the dimensions I'm going to go with. It's going to be about 3 cubic feet of space in total. Hoping to use the piece that I cut out as the lid and do some hinges. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started by pulling the interior back a bit, exposing the metal. So where I'm planning to start, I'm going to use this corner, which I believe was from the factory bumper mount if I remember right. Drill about in this corner right here to give us a straight line of where it can be, and then from there we'll go forward. Okay, and using these 2 drill holes, we're going to go ahead and just mark a straight line across the back, straight as we can get it. Okay, I went ahead and got the square marked out. I ended up adding an extra inch this way to 16 inches by 34 across. Looking at the fuel lines, and I forget what's on this side. Anyways, looking at what's underneath the exhaust, we had an extra inch to gain, so bigger is better. Okay, so I went ahead, have the floor cut out. There's a few floor braces. One coming across and a couple coming back. You have to cut through those. I cut through the top with just the cutoff wheel, the zip disc, and then for those I went ahead and used the Sawzall. It's all pretty much light gauge metal. This is double layered, so it took a little bit more. As far as the depth, 16 inches should clear us down to the exhaust that way, and it should just clear the breather tube for the fuel filler. Okay, the next step we're going to do is we're going to remove the spare tire, factory spare tire carrier, and mine has some metal boogered on there from a previous owner installing something. I'm not sure, but that's coming off as well. Alright, we've got the cross member cut out. Just threw some paint on there, keep the rust down. We'll go ahead and start on building the box. Alright, so we're going to start here with a 4 foot by 4 foot 18 gauge cold rolled steel sheet. Should allow us to get the entire project done out of a half sheet of steel or a whole 4x4. Okay, we got these cut down to size. This one here is 40 by 34 for my application. The smaller ones are 14 by 18 for the sides. Alright, so I've gone ahead, I've bent up the steel. I did some bead rolls in it just for a little more strength. The bead rolls stretch the metal a bit, so I'm pulling it into shape using the table and the self-tap screws. I'll go ahead and get it welded. Alright, so I have the box built, it's all welded up. The only issue with fitting the floor really is the 90-degree break on the back. It doesn't fit so well due to the rise in the floor. The tallest point is here. This is slightly lower here, and then this is obviously drastically lower. So it's a big enough gap I can tuck my finger under my box, which I don't really want to hammer that down. So I've gone ahead, broke a piece of steel, and then using the cutout piece I just traced the shape of the floor pan, and this will weld into here, giving me a nice flat edge to rest my box on and weld my box down to. Alright, went ahead, got that welded up. We will be prepping it, grinding it down, and I'm considering welding some flange onto here, onto these supports, as well as this floor support, just to weld back into the box for a little bit of strength, give it a little bit of its strength back. Alright, I've gone ahead, I've gotten the flanges welded onto here, tie into the box, capped, and then on the rear there was a little bit left raised here. I just went ahead and ran the zip disc, hammered these flat, so it should lay a lot nicer now. Alright, I went ahead, got the little relief cuts welded back up and prepped the perimeter to lay down the new pan. Okay, we got the holes all drilled out for the spot welds. Just we're gonna have to clamp it down in a few spots, but nothing too bad. Alright, I have it all welded up. I'll go ahead and dress down the welds. Maybe, might just paint over them, I'm not sure. I just have to make a lid and seam seal everything. Okay, so I went ahead and I built a lid. I just using the stock cutout piece, some formed angle iron. I was gonna weld that up. Took it out for a weekend, it worked fine. My son ended up sleeping on the back of the truck and complained about the height difference between the floor and the seat right in here. So what I've done instead is I've laid down some 3/4 ply, cut it out, and we'll just run a piano hinge for the lid. So it's pretty much formed. I used a 4x4 sheet. It was a little narrow, just patched in a piece with some staples and some screws through the side. So we're going to go ahead and get this carpeted up. Alright, we have it all upholstered up with some indoor-outdoor carpet from Home Depot. It's kind of weird on mine. It's kind of a grayer color, but up on the door panels it's a lighter tan, more like this. So it's not perfect, but it's fine for what it is. I put a little pull tab for now, and I'll upholster the bottom with something to finish it. Just did a piano hinge from Home Depot, and I mounted it with the barrel down so it's flush. To secure it, just went through the factory D-rings with some 40mm bolts, 40mm long bolts using the factory holes. I also built some steel tabs that screw into this ply and installed a nutsert into the floor here and here, right there, to secure this piece of ply from moving around. And it holds quite a bit. I have a Camp Chef stove in here. This is a Cabela's bag with another stove. I got a big tool bag in there, a down blanket, a med kit, another med kit, a big air compressor, propane bottle, some tools from my bow down there. Holds quite a bit. So that'll pretty much wrap up this project. Involved a little more than I expected at the beginning, but it wasn't too bad. I'll try to post the next project when I get to it.